figure fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Hot Toys MMS 411 of the deluxe version of the 1/6 scale Rocket Racoon from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. For the packaging, this is the front of the box. This and this is the side of the box. And this is the back of the box. Go ahead and pause it right now in case there's anything on the back here that you'd like to read. Much like most Hot Toy figures, it is a shoebox style package that on the inside you have some nice artistic kind of representations of the inside of a cassette player, as well as a listing of the cast and crew responsible for making this figure. And then when you remove that, you have the open clamshell that fully showcases the figure as well as all of his accessories. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Rocket open up and out of his packaging. And starting off first with his accessories, as I mentioned, this is the deluxe version of Rocket Racoon. There is a regular release that doesn't come with as much stuff and does have a slightly lower price point, but I really do feel what you get here is well worth that additional price. So in addition to the two fisted hands that are currently on him, he comes with a whole bunch of little tiny hands here coming in because they are pretty darn tiny. Oh, look at the little baby Groot. You do have a couple right and left hands here that are designed for a variety of different poses. You can see that these ones are just kind of open, relaxed sort of hands, but great. I don't know how close I can get in. Oh, actually, that looks pretty good. You can see great detail on the paint and the sculpt work. You can see some nice detail with the claws there. Nice fur replication. I mean, overall, really gorgeous looking hands. And like I said, the coloring really does look very nice. So you do get those. You also get a pair of right and left hands that are a little bit more opened. Each one has a slightly different kind of hook to the fingers, but these are designed for his different guns and such. But again, same level of detail that you can see with the claws, the paint, the sculpt, everything looks really spectacular there. You get another pair that are a little bit more, well, the right hand here is a little bit more open again, more designed for holding the guns and stuff. This one's a little bit more closed, but you can see slightly different positioning of the fingers, but still great detail. He also does come with a pair of more angled feet. You can see they're positioned up like so. It's okay for posing and such. You do get a little bit more of a dynamic kind of look for him, kind of like he's walking, I guess, and get that to focus again. But honestly, I don't feel like I'm going to use these for anything other than this review, but same level of paint detail on the entire thing. You can see it's kind of got a little bit of a bronzish color to it, but still really good to drop it. But you can see nice detail even on the bottom of his feet. Really quite impressive. Now, those are, like I said, just the standard hands and everything that come with it. He also does come with a pair of guns that are both different. This one honestly looks like something from Star Wars and something like Han Solo would probably use. Really nice paint on here though. Silver, black, you got some goldish color, you got a little bit of blue there on the tip. Like I said, it kind of looks like a Han Solo type of weapon. And then the other one is this triple barrel gun, which looks great as well. Again, really nice silver wash. Got some gold, a little bit of orange, and then some green bits here. Absolutely spectacular looking. Really does kind of remind you of something that, maybe Rocket himself would create. But overall, very fun. You do get that with the standard version in addition to the deluxe one as well. You also do get his backpack. Now, this is very similar to the one that Star-Lord came with. This does attach to him and everything. It does seem to kind of come out of his little regular back section. Now, you can see that he does have this little backpack already here, and then you have this one. So it does kind of look like it comes from that. Honestly, I don't really remember too much about it, but still really nice detail. I'll show how to attach this and everything. You just kind of remove this, and then you have a whole bunch of different little pegs, and then you just put that on there, which works perfectly fine. But really nice silver paint on there. You got a little bit of red thrown there on the bottom. Still real nice detail here on the backpack section. You can see some nice brown, little green jewel thing right there, and then the silver for the little thrusters. No real paint variation down here to kind of denote that it's been used. I would have liked maybe some blue on there to kind of give like a superheated kind of look, but in general, really very sharp looking. You know, a little bit of brown along the side as well there, and then on the abdomen area, really great detail on there. Then he also does come with little baby Groot. Now this guy here, this is the second Groot that we've gotten. The first one was with Star-Lord, and this one is probably more of a favorite of mine because he's wearing the little Ravager outfit. I want to kind of get as focused in on that as I possibly can. That looks great. He's kind of yelling, got his arms waving right there. You can see the little zipper. Great paint detail on this as well. Nice red, and then you got the zipper, you got the little logo right there. All the way around, real great painted and sculpted detail. Got the little Ravager logo there. Still really amazing detail in the face and such. You can see he does come with a display stand. He also does come with this little tiny clear bit right here that you can put on his foot. You just wedge that all the way down, and you see it creates like this little hook sort of thing. Now, this is one thing that I think they really needed to do a little bit better of a job in. I'm going to come in here and show you where you can attach that. It can attach to Rocket's little shoulder piece, but what you can see is that in doing so, it's actually damaged the faux leather a little bit. What I would recommend, kind of come up from the bottom, kind of hook it in there, and then sort of pry it apart. So while it's wedged a little bit under there, kind of pull a little bit and then lift over, and then you can kind of wedge his foot down a little bit more, and then you can position this to create a look where he's kind of standing on his shoulder. I do like that a lot. That's a really cool display option. I think that they could have did a better job by actually putting in a magnet. I don't know how they could have done that with the feet. I mean, they would have been pretty tiny. The magnet that they used for the one that came with Star-Lord was in his butt, so there was a much bigger surface area. Not so much here with the feet, but in removing it, pulling it out isn't so bad, but you can see that unfortunately it started to fray that a little bit. I don't know how well you're able to see this. Let me come in. You can kind of see that the top is a little bit rounded, so that's nice, but it is fairly tight here, so make sure that's all the way in there. Now, like I said, the best, easiest way to do it is kind of wedge it in there and then pull up on it so that you kind of clear the top plastic over the leather section, so you get that to kind of sit on there pretty decently. And then, like I said, just kind of wedge that around, and then that's the display option for him, which I think looks cool. Yes, it does kind of look like he's floating a little bit. I could probably get his foot down there a little bit more. That's a little bit better. But it does kind of look like he's floating there, but I like that display option. I think that that's really cool looking. He was walking around on a lot of the other Guardians of the Galaxy quite often, so that's cool to see that. Just be careful with this. If you choose to display it on there, kind of go the way that I was showing you. That will kind of minimize some of the damage. So you do got that little additional accessory right there, which is fun. Now, again, the standard version also does come with this display. Well, the standard and the deluxe one comes with this nice display base, Rocket Racoon. It does have a flexible pillar. You can kind of create a flight sort of pose with them. You can just put this right there, and you can do something like that. I do have to tighten it. The little screw right here, it just kind of slides up and down, but you can create a flight sort of pose. I love the detail on here with the like galaxy thing in the back. You got a nice glossy image of the logo. I'm not a big fan of the plastic. It's like they just painted the plastic itself. Normally we get a kind of metal looking one. I don't like this. I feel like that's a little bit cheap, but I do like the flexible pillar and the size of it. I mean, usually you get these with like Iron Man and you get a very big display. This is a standard sort of display size now. I still wish they would give us the oval ones just to kind of save space, but because he's a smaller character, it works. They don't need to have a bigger base to incorporate the flexible pillar, so I feel like that works. Now, in the package, it's kind of strange. When you get it out, this is the head that he comes with. This head sculpt, though, is only included with the deluxe set. If you get the standard version, which doesn't come with these two accessories right here, this head will not come with it. This is the head that comes with both. This is basically the same sculpt as the one that we got from the original one. I'll do a comparison here in a bit. This is the new one. All you do, you pop that off, and you pop that back on there. The ball joint for his tail always comes out. So be careful with the whiskers as you're doing things. So this is the new head sculpt that comes with them. I don't know why that they put the exclusive one on the head here. Maybe just because this is the the deluxe set, but this is the head that you get with both versions regardless. This is the one, I know I'm saying it a lot, but I want to make sure that I am clear that this is the one that comes with the exclusive deluxe set. So no matter what, you're going to be getting this nice new head sculpt, and we'll take a closer look here in a bit. The other accessory that you get with the deluxe set is this big massive gun, which is glorious. Totally a Rocket Raccoon style gun. You can see it looks like it's a hodgepodge of different parts. Great sculpting throughout the entire thing. Great paint detail even on the intersection of the barrel, some intersections of the gears. All this nice silver wash, this little rusty dirt bit that's kind of like in the front here. All of it just is so incredible. You could really just sit here and stare at this for a long time. It has just so much detail. You got a little arm section where his arm goes through there and then holds that. I love that. You got a little, I don't know, like a little stabilizer thing. There's no moving parts that I can see on this. It's all just one sculpted piece of plastic, but it's gorgeous. It really, really is. And like I said, this is exclusively available in the deluxe version as well. So really the only things that you're missing are these two pieces. When you get it, you get these. But I feel like that increase in price is well worth getting these extra pieces. I mean, as I said, this head sculpt here is basically just a reuse, so you don't really need it, but it's a nice option to give this guy different looks. And then with the extra gun, it just fits the character so much more. But for his accessories, that's what you get with both the standard and the deluxe version. Now, coming in to take a closer look at the figure, you can see just how gorgeous this new head sculpt is. Very, very much captures, that personality of Rocket. Screaming, angry, his teeth baring. I mean, great detail. I mean, you can see even a tremendous amount of detail sculpted into his tongue. I mean, like there's ripples in there. Absolutely gorgeous. Much like that original one, he does have these real hair-ish kind of whiskers that you do want to be careful with. But the rest of the sculpt is spot on. The paint looks terrific. It's a much darker brown. You got some nice bronze colors thrown throughout there. Obviously, the kind of dirty white streak going throughout. Absolutely spectacular looking. Coming down to look at the body. The other thing that you're noticing, different from this to the other one, was the outfit that he wore. Again, we'll take a look at the differences there. But again, great paint variation in the fur color and everything. Fairly simple looking for his outfit. It does have some looser bits like the little belt section here, so you do have to kind of flex that around, but it feels very stretchy, almost like a wetsuit kind of. You got a little bit of a rubber section down here for the legs, his knees, which don't actually line up with his knees, but you can see where the knee bends is there, and then you got the little pattern right there. Come around here, taking a look at the little satchels that he has. You can't open them or anything, and they just kind of hang there off his hip, but they look great. You have his little backpack, or I mean, the original one had it kind of, I don't know what that was. They never really went into that or anything, but it's part of his like cyberneticness or something. Now, to put on his little jetpack first, you want to is remove this and then actually remove both his arms. Just pop those off. They're on ball joints, as well as his head. And again, you do want to be careful when you're doing, or just pull the whole thing off. Here, take that and put that back in there. Get that locked into place, just like that. And then you take this bit right here, and this does get a little bit tricky to do because you don't want to overstretch anything, but it just says to bring this over the head, and I've already detached this piece. It's just glued on, but you don't want to overextend it, so just slip it over safely like so. And then I'm trying to think, yeah, you bring this piece back over, and then it fits over. You can see they got the holes right there, and then that fits over there, and then push that all the way down like so. Now it does line up with the little shoulder bits. So position that like so, and then bring in the little thruster, and then you got those holes bits still. Then you just line that up. Make sure you push that all the way in so you have those posts that stick out, and then you put that on there as best as you can. Just squeeze that on, and there's the thruster section. Then again, you would put the heads and or heads. Pick a head. You can put the heads and then put the arms back on there. I would say, let me see. Does it kind of look? Yeah, you can still kind of get that to sit on there. So it doesn't really restrict that all that much. But removing it, you just pull that off. Pull this back piece off. It does get on there very securely. And the best way to do it is kind of push and pull the piece out. So pull that out like that, and then again very slowly slide the little shoulder sections and everything over. I'm trying to be careful because the little bits here kind of flare out. So there you go. Pull that off just like that, and then we're gonna put his head back on, pop that down, bring the arms, put those back on. It is tricky to get these arms in there. There we are. His tail popped off in the process. And then get this. There we go. Wait, did I even put that? Yeah, there we go. Put that on. And then come down back to the tail, put his tail back on. And I'll fiddle with everything here, clean it up. But again, then you just take this and you post this right back on there. So really very easy. So really very nice in terms of the detail on the guy. First articulation, as I talked about, it's not overly restricted by anything, which is nice. The only thing that I would say does kind of cause a problem, everything pops off, would be the neck section. It doesn't really look up and down all that well. You really rely on this little lower neck section to get that up and down motion, and then looks left and right. But you do have the ball joint right there. You do have the ball joints here for the arm. There is also a little bit of butterflyness to that. So that rotates very nicely, moves out about that far. It doesn't go fully outward because it is a ball joint. Does have a nice hinge at the elbow. Also does rotate. Does have the pin hinge joint here for his wrist, so you can flex that forward and back. Does rotate very, very nicely. He does have an upper diaphragm joint. It's kind of all tied in here, and because it's such a small area, it really works with the waist joint here as well, so you get a nice range of motion there. In terms of the rotation, it doesn't get a real full rotation because of the suit though, so it is a little limited there. It does move forward, move back, in and out. It is a little bit tight here in his crotch area, but you can spread that like so, and then move forward and back, kind of angle that up and get it to stay up a little bit more. Bends at the knee. He also rotates at the knee, and then the ankles here move forward and back, and those also have the little pin on there, so rotates very nicely. Overall, though, really spectacular looking figure. Definitely an improvement over the original, in my opinion, but now comparing our favorite Trash Panda to the previously released version of him, there really isn't much that is different in terms of the sculpt. The biggest difference that you're noticing is obviously the costume, and then I shouldn't say skin tone, but like the fur tone. The color is definitely darker on the new one. One other thing that I just honestly noticed, it looks like the neck has been redesigned. You can see that it does sit a little bit more squat on the old one than the new one. I mean, it's probably not really displaying very well here, but one thing that is different, you can remove this and you can see that he does have his little, there you go, his little cybernetic bits right there on his neck. That's something that the original one here does not have. And then obviously, this being the deluxe version, he does also come with the more angry face. Be careful when you're putting it on there because you do have the whiskers, so just squish that down. And due to the way that the sculpt is here, it definitely makes his neck look like it's a little bit longer, which is cool. I like that. But again, the best representation for this character would probably be this yelling face. It just fits the personality so much better. So the deluxe set in my mind is the way to go because you're going to get that extra head sculpt. The previous one is, from what I can really see, pretty much identical except for the paint. I just think that this look is so much more in line with what we expect from Rocket. But ultimately, though, once again, what Hot Toys has done with this really is an improvement over the previous version. We've seen it time and time again. Their subsequent releases of characters usually really do surpass the previous version. As for Rocket here, not a lot needed to be done. Obviously, the outfit needed to be updated. But small little things like getting the fur color more accurate to his film representation, adding things like the little cybernetic bits on his neck. That all really nicely rounds out the figure and makes it much more accurate. Obviously, because this is a second release, we're going to get a new head sculpt, and this one is perfect. I mean, obviously, I really liked the original. It was really good as well. I mean, the teeth showing and everything looked great. But that open yelling, as you can see, having him hold his big giant weapon just fits perfectly for him. A lot of times, I know collectors, when a new figure comes out, they won't necessarily get the new one because they already have the other one. This is definitely one that really fairly easily makes that other one obsolete. They've done a terrific job with this. And if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel, Rocket Raccoon fan, whatever, this is absolutely a figure that I would add to your collection. Combined with the fact that he comes with a little adorable baby Groot, this is a beautiful set. So, all that being said, if Rocket Raccoon here is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he's available right now at Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Hot Toys 1/6 scale figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you liked this video, I would really appreciate your support and letting me know by hitting that thumbs up button. It actually does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, welcome. And before you go, make sure you subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you'll get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out on a future review of mine. Or hey, if you're already subscribed, now more than ever it's important to make sure that you're getting those email notifications. We all know just how unreliable that YouTube subscription box is, and the best way to help support my channel and not miss any future reviews of mine is to click on that little bell right below this video and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I really do want to thank you guys. Another way to really help support my channel is to watch my videos all the way through. And if you made it this far, thank you. And remember, the real trouble with the world is too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.